Lying season's over.
The draft doesn't lie, but the people do.
Yeah.
What did they tell us?
Yeah, this is one of my favorite things about the draft, that you can hear all these, this rumor, this report, this or that, whatever. Once they start making picks and making moves, they are telling you exactly what they've been thinking all along. And that's one of my favorite things to analyze, or at least talk about post-draft. And that is that like their moves don't lie. That's what they want. That's what they prioritized. No matter how you put it, no matter what they say about best player available or whatever, for one reason or another, they prioritize this. So the first thing that this draft told us from Nick and D'Amico is they absolutely, positively are looking to upgrade the secondary. Like you can talk about, some of the players they brought in, how they feel about Jimmy Ward or whomever at the safety. To take Lassiter with the 42nd pick and then go get Kalen Bullock in the third round, 100%, Landry. This is a team that is prioritizing upgrading the secondary.
Yeah, and they should. The safety position, we wonder if that would be something that they were satisfied with. They're not doing that. Nick Caserio said some guys might not be on the team. I do wonder what this means for Jimmy Ward. Like, where does Jimmy Ward fit into this whole thing? Robert Woods, is he going to be here? But yeah, the safety. I think the cornerback. I think the cornerback pick was a draft for need. Which,
yes,
you don't always draft for need, but that did feel like, hey, we're going to take the best corner available. We're going to take the one we like. Most of your guys outside of Stingley, they're on one-year deals. So they drafted a guy that they're going to have in the building for 4 years. So that was kind of that was a need pick. Whether or not they evaluated it right, we will see. They're talking a lot about versatility, though, a lot, which can kind of create some PTSD.
Yeah. Here's another thing that the draft told us, and I think it's important. We mentioned Titus Howard in the last segment. The way I'll put it is this. We've been wondering about Titus Howard for a long time. Nick and D'Amico are wondering the same thing. That's the best way I can put it. They're wondering about Titus Howard. They're saying the right things, best tackle, one of the best tackles in the league, blah, blah, blah. But if they're not wondering about Titus Howard, whether it's at tackle or just how good he is, or maybe by extension.
Did you not hear Caserio say he's one of the best tackles in the league?
I did. Don't believe it. If they were, they wouldn't have done this in the second round. And then there's maybe even by extension, is he better at left guard? Is he better option at left guard ultimately? Like I said, they're wondering.
No.
I'm not saying they're putting him there.
Hell no.
Well, then why do they draft a tackle in the second round? That's
your plan, man.
That's my plan.
2-year plan to replace those guys and upgrade at the backup tackle spot.
Yeah. I think it says something. The third thing that the draft did not lie about, they are not crazy about tight end depth and blocking.
No, it shouldn't be.
Clearly.
It shouldn't be.
Clearly. We've been talking about it. We wondered if they were going to get a tight end. Find someone who loves you as much as Nick loves Cade Stover. I mean, he called him elite from the word go. This is clearly a Nick guy. So that's obvious that they were telling us that they care. They wonder about tight end as much as anything. And here's the most interesting one that we touched on a little bit in the last hour. I know they feel good about Joe Mixon. Do they feel that good about Dameon Pierce too? Because they didn't prioritize running back. I mean, you may be able to find a jewel, a hidden gem, whatever you want to call it, in the 6th round like they did with Jordan. But if they were prioritizing running back, it wouldn't be there.
Pierce wasn't playable last year.
Look who you're talking to.
Like he was not. He was not playable last year.
I mean, I don't disagree.
So if like they all.
So what is it? They clearly didn't prioritize it.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm confused by it.
Mm-hmm. And oh, by the way, when they drafted in the 3rd round, Bullock, there was more than a couple, but 2 in particular running backs that were available there in the 3rd round, including Corum. So when they're prioritizing, it was the secondary, as we talked about, more than the running back position. So I mean,
keep doing it.
It doesn't lie. Like that. I mean, that was. I know how we feel.
If we get a bounce back from Dameon Pierce, I'll be thrilled.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't really see how that happens.
I don't expect me to disagree with you.
Keep doing it.
I'm telling you what they told us with their actions.
The thing is, like, if you're going to proactively go out and get a tackle, and what you're going to say, and what they say is not always the truth, but you're going to say, Well, we saw last year that Laramie Tunsil got hurt and Titus Howard got hurt, and you got to feel good about the tackle position when he's talking about short term with Fisher. You're telling me that if Joe Mixon goes down and misses a game or two, you feel good about Dameon Pierce, Dare Ogunbowale in a 6th-round pick?
No.
When it comes to running the rock?
Keep criticizing Dameon Pierce.
That's just if you do, great. If that ends up being correct, that's fine. But there was a big misevaluation last year at the running back position, and I almost feel like it's deja vu all over again. With all the great things that they've done, all the things that they've built, last year, whether it was a big or small misevaluation, they thought Dameon Pierce was going to be their starting running back. They thought that Devin Singletary was going to be the backup.
Yeah.
Props to Devin Singletary for coming in and giving you serviceable-ish running back play. Not always consistent, but props to him for coming in and being able to do that. It builds you out from your misevaluation, but they misevaluated that situation, and it almost feels like, I just can't imagine that they feel great about Dameon Pierce at this point. I like what Dameon Pierce told Sean and Seth that he learned a lot last year and the system and all. Okay, but that was a big misevaluation, and I don't think it's minimal. I don't buy into this. Oh well, the Super Bowl teams. I don't care about the Chiefs and the Patriots.
Well, I
don't care about that.
I know someone over there really loves Dameon Pierce because they stuck with him until it was just too obvious that they had to go with Singletary. So maybe this is just a little bit of, he's my guy. I think he's going to get it done. Someone over there, whether it's D'Amico, Nick, whomever. But again, what did the draft tell us? That they did not want to prioritize that position as much as we thought they would need to.
Yeah, they did not. Those are the truths told to the Houston Texans and to the people during the draft by the Houston Texans. So we'll keep an eye on that. There's some interesting pieces. I do like that Caserio said, there's going to be market for players, and we could perhaps be in that market. So I don't think they're done before training camp goes down. I don't anticipate that the Texans, the roster they have right now, is going to be the one that they take into camp, which is really, really interesting, something to keep an eye on when it comes to that and what exactly they're trying to do.
And it's undrafted free agent season too now, so we'll see how that plays out.
Do you think there's any chance that Fisher beats out Titus Howard? I don't think Titus Howard's good. I think he's okay. I don't think he's a top 5 right tackle. But if I am to take where their checkbook went and what Nick Caserio has said, and he said that he thought that Titus Howard was a top 5 right tackle, then I'm going to take. I guess I'll take him at his word because it's not like he's just saying it. They paid him like that.
Yeah.
So, is there any chance that Fisher comes in here and beats out Titus Howard? Is he? Do you think?
I'm hesitating.
All right, well, let me put it this way. Do you think he has a chance to?
I'll tell you straight up.
Because Nick Caserio said you got to play good to stay in this building. Do you think he has a chance to? Do you think if he is better that he's going to play?
Yes.
Okay, so then there is a chance.
Yes, I think there's
They're
a
not
chance.
That
the reason I hesitated is because it's so political. They paid this guy so much money. Nick doesn't want to.
I don't know that they're political. Though.
Nick doesn't want to look bad, but D'Amico's going to say, "Screw that! I need to get the best guys on the field if it works out." And maybe we're just dumb, and he's going to become one of the best right tackles, in the NFL. I don't see it. He hadn't been that. They paid him before he was that, to be honest. And how many times in different ways can I say this? You drafted a tackle in the second round. Dude.
Yeah.
You drafted a tackle in the second round. That to me was the story of the draft, along with, Cade Stover getting it, and the fact that they emphasized the secondary so much. Like you can tell us anything you want. Your accents told something else. You can talk about Titus Howard all you want.
So what are we saying if he comes in here and beats out Titus?
I think he just becomes the tackle. I mean, it'll end up looking bad for Nick. But Nick's had such.
I don't even know that it's bad.
He's had such a good run.
I mean, I don't know that it's the worst case scenario. I just okay, so the 2-year plan makes sense, but what if he's better than Titus Howard? Beats him out. I mean, that would be hilarious to me.
It would be good.
Because the one thing of all the stuff that's being said, I just don't believe that Titus Howard's one of the best right tackles in the league. I don't believe it.
Yeah.
That's the one thing that Nick Caserio said that I just said I don't believe that. Yeah. And I don't think there's any fan that does. I mean, even like the Titus Howard optimist, like he can be serviceable, and obviously he's better at tackle than guard. Like, let's put it this way. There were a lot of people at the party on Saturday. There's a lot of people that we talk to on a daily basis, whether it's on the stream or here. I've yet to see one person say he's one of the best tackles in the league. I've heard people say he's a good tackle.
Yeah.
I've seen people say, yeah, but one of the best tackles in the league, really?
No, not going to happen.
Yeah, I haven't necessarily. I don't
Shoot,
know
them mock drafts had them picking their tackle.
all of them.
Remember, we were making fun of them.
Yeah,
in the first
I don't
round.
think they was doing it because of Laramie Tunsil.